It's almost 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We're just looking at the Forex this time, actually, the real Forex market. The other one had the Bitcoin and stuff in there. I parked the charts down here just by hitting this reduction button. And I don't really trade that, but it's a fascinating look at the end of the year, certainly to see what the 12 bars, the 12 candlesticks that make up the year look like as time marches on. Um, but yeah, it's a real climax moment, I'd say, for a lot of these things. These instruments have caught up with inflation. But at the moment, since we just closed out the 4 hour chart and everybody's on the 4 hour chart here, this is the classic. That's why I thought they called it Forex because of there was four currency pairs, but apparently it's foreign exchange. That's what it stands for. But on the um, 4 hour chart, there's plenty of stuff you can mine on this. I'm going to delete these trades I did. So this is a running history. I haven't deleted anything, and these are things that didn't fill. And some of these drops are just stuff like this. I was just dropping it to see what it looks like. Now, I put this all in a zip file, this whole platform, the way it is. The indicator that you were looking at here is somebody built this for me when I asked, hey, what would it be like if we could just draw straight back from current price? And it came out to, I call it void fill. It looks like this. Now, there's a couple versions of this, but this one works okay. I kind of put a very thick line in here. I should probably skinny that out a little bit. It's 6 width, Dodger blue. I just love Dodger blue. It's like a nice neutral blue. And it just looks back here. Simple code, but I must say it's very elegant. It doesn't it's better than market profile because it's going straight back. There's no it's always redrawing in the latest drama. So on the this is 100 pips between these two big lines, 20 pips on the markings. And if you're going to trade, try to stay within a certain pip risk, I would say the yen's going to be the most amount of pips typically. And so I would probably want to be fair of what the cost of trading is, pip wise, I would take this and scrunch it down till it matches the ATR in the what the computer's framed out here in the 4 hour. So this is looking back 2 weeks. Unfortunately, I moved this earlier. I'm not sure where that's supposed to go. It's not exact. I guess a few pixels off there. That's why I don't have Bitcoin up here because it's in a different time frame. Okay, so this is the volatility is what's going to make you money and lose you money really quickly. So if you want to trade a lot of pips, I'd trade the yen. And definitely, made $2,500 here on a Friday. This is the end of the week coming into all this psychodrama. When they came out with the non-farm payroll, what the fuck that means, I have no idea. And do we trust the numbers? We have no fucking idea. That's why it's just a chance for the market to go absolutely bonkers and fill the upper void and the lower void of the blue line and pierce the blue line. And it looks like, all-time highs here in the NASDAQ and things like that. Doesn't mean too much to the Forex market, although the dollar yen is in all-time high territory also. So let me clean up the charts. I've got, I should have delete all objects down here at the bottom. Shit, gotta have more of those. There's one here called Tablet. This is like, so there's a lot in here. These are buy drops because they actually, if you like to trade this style, I don't really like to trade buy stop entry, but if you put this below, it'll be a buy limit. If you put it above, it will be a buy stop. That is based on the original script that MetaTrader released, which they no longer do, but this is how it looked. This is direct copy from the original. And it just was like, okay, if you place this above, it's a buy stop. Below, it's a buy limit. But it's all about buying. Okay. Now, and then I put this comment in here of supposedly the expiration, though I wouldn't count on that comment making too much sense, because when I started to write many variations of this, I just really couldn't keep up with the comments, and it didn't seem to matter. I was just putting it on there. If you want to do a spreadsheet and see which trades were being triggered, or, kind of capture the evidence of the crime and see what you did, if you cared. But we don't care, right? And the expiration on here, some of these trades are ridiculous. I'm looking at them now thinking, yeah, that's a lot of work to drop. You can risk $1 to make $2 here on a buy stop. Okay, the market's got to go screaming up too. It's so scenario specific, like all trades are. You're asking a lot of the market. This would have to be like, unless you put this right up against the current price, it's probably not going to fill. It's 1 hour. There's nothing going on at 10 o'clock at night here. So you have to wait for 3 o'clock in the morning. There'll be drama. When the news comes out, there'll be drama. There'll be the jobs report tomorrow morning. There'll be drama. And you just have to anticipate that. Try to get all your ducks in a row for that situation. So I'm just going to clear off all these trades I did and go into trying to find the next trade. So the broker's not going to let you try the left side of the chart. That's the old joke. This indicator stacked. The way this template is, and the template's included, but I would redo the template. If you look at the indicator list, you want to have this 20, I think, above that 0. So if I deleted something, and then here's the spread. So when you see this white number here, this is 1.3 pips. On this broker, it happens to be 0 commission. So here it actually is that. So this is going to just cost you 10 cents, so 1K. Okay, so the tomorrow morning, the market's probably going to take out this blue line, and the deeper the blue line, so how do you deal with this void fill indicator? How do you trade it, I suppose? What do you do with this indicator? Well, it's just kind of giving you this really objective view, looking back from current price, and market profile attempts to look back into the important prices. I think the most important prices is the prices we haven't hit yet. Let me just get rid of these trades. It's bugging me. Okay, so the stuff we haven't hit yet, that's important. And it's just giving me a line of scrimmage that's pretty fucking obvious that if we go higher than this, then, Katie bar the door, as they said. But it also is the tipping point into a possible window. But if I mark it, so I'm using this as the self-drawing tool, and I'm going to draw the box on top of it. So here's about a 50 pip window that I'm going to place sell limits in and go to sleep. So this would be an 8-hour overnight trade. Now, the key is drawn. It's like a self-drawing indicator. but it redraws. And the I guess you could, it's bracketing off the support and resistance, and it's pretty seems to be holding within a 20 pip window here. The line's probably about 16 pips. That 6 pixels is about 16 pips here on the chart just for the line. So I'm not trading exact prices. I'm trading into the void, and this the pressure builds up on the stair step, and it's also where people are drawing their trend lines. But it's not that people are drawing their trend lines and the market's respecting any kind of thing that you draw or any kind of pattern you see. It's just that there's pressure there. If you draw, if you draw this line, are you going to break that line? And if you break it, it's going to cascade into what people would call a stop hunt. And what about the top here? Well, it's kind of top tick Tommy'd a little bit. Can it keep inching higher? I think it will, actually. Can it go vroom into here and then pull back? That would be my preferred trade. So if I sold every 20 pips and I put in a 5K with a stop, master stop, let's just say here, no offense to the slave stops, but if we put a master, like maybe there's a soft master stop, just beats you a little bit, and maybe you lose a couple tickets here, but then it comes back. That is the trade I'm looking for myself. It's just an obvious dumb shit money making trade. It is what ICT would say, liquidity. Yes, anytime. This is like the liquidity line, and it was. Don't forget, it was tracing here, and then it got crushed, and I would buy that wick and dump on something. So that's a good 80 pips in like the blink of an eye. I'm sure that was some news bullshit. Right, this is non-farm payroll from last Friday. So we could see it coming as soon as they tip this thing. You can see the whole fucking order line. Yes, you would sell up here and you would buy down here, and I don't think I'd put any kind of different targets on that stuff. I'd be like, let's put in a 75 pip to make 50, a 30 to make 28, just on and on and on bullshit. The key is, what's the next trade? So the next trade here is put sell limits up here, put some outlandish ratios here, because this is where you can get an outlandish ratio. The market's going to keep going up. I'm sure you've seen it where you just can't believe it's still going up or still going down. I have. I would say most of the time, I can't fucking believe how much the market moves. But some of it, if you think of it as backfilling, as another term for the stop hunt, it really depends how you view the world. Is it out to get you, or are you sitting back and waiting for it to fill your minefield of tickets? You set the trap, it comes into the trap, and you pick up some price action, but you're getting involved into it as it punches down. So my favorite trade would have to be the 4-hour hammer. You're in, you're out. This is 40 pips. You're done. The vacuum was building up in these little pockets, the scalp. And then, like here, this is if you could afford it, if you could afford a 100 pip stop, you would sell here. You sell more above this and more above this. So as the market punches up, sell, sell, sell. This is Wednesday. Comes flying back to your first entry. And then if you're ready to wait through the whole auction, so you take out this 2-week back high, they're going to go after the 2-week low. They don't quite punch into this, so if you placed orders here, no fill, but you know what? You didn't lose any money. This is a vicious, like here, look how it just comes right to, and this really is support. And where people get tripped up is they say, well, shit, can I just do that all day long? If you thought that This was support, and don't forget, this was support. It kept banging off this 100 pip line, but then it just sheared it off. So if you're buying that retest here and you have too tight a stop, you couldn't survive it here to make this money on the way up, right? So when people backtest a one ticket system, it's insane because you may need to put a 200 pip stop to make 200 pips. Like here, I was in this trade, okay? I was in this. I bought this. This is the middle of the night. I remember this was about 5 p.m. here. And I'm like, oh, yeah, let's just start buying. Fuck, dude. They stopped me out. There's no fucking way. This is down 200 pips in 4 hours. Let's think about that. I don't think there's even there's maybe a 13 pip rally on the way down 200 pips. You could not make money buying that. There's not enough bounce. It doesn't really bounce at all. In that one particular situation, there is no bounce. Now, if you had a 500 pip stop, risking $50 a ticket, sure, you could do this trade because you would buy. If you waited till 4 hours passed, you'd buy here. You'd buy here. Buy here. And hopefully you had limits sitting below this wick and this wick. So these are really severe liquidity areas, as they would say. And below here, you're just buying the ranch. If you're watching this drop and you're buying into it, it's a little different psychologically, but it's not going to, if 20% of your trading is at the market, then you bought here, you bought here, you bought here. But really, if you're getting filled on your limits, you know that these are, I wouldn't say logical trades, but this is the obvious liquidity. You need to buy that also. But if you see a high drama move down, so this is a bigger move than this one, so it's down hard, then slight hesitation down really hard, and it closes below. You happen to be sitting here and watching it, which is another thing. Are you going to really be awake 24 hours? But if you could pull the trigger here, because this is a bigger down move than this one, so you would buy just this one, skip this one. It's not down hard enough. If you're going to really stand in front of, you're really going to go against everybody, you got to step in hard. So if you stepped in hard here and went and bought this, you didn't buy this doji, you saw this close down, and this actually closed, even though that wick is insane. And hopefully your limits got filled on that. But you have to think 500 pips away from current price with this yen, because it does it. This is Monday. This is 300 pips, 400 pips, almost 500 pips in 1 week on the yen. But if you're sitting back with sell limits above here and you're watching this, you have to have the thought, well, you know, they're coming into my tickets. I would have some orders on this reversal point. I probably have tickets on here. Unfortunately, I'd probably have tickets all the way up because that's just how pissed off and how much I hate this trend. Just hate it. Because I'm not going to jump on this, okay, only on these pullback candles, but I'm not going to just buy into this because I'm a seller on these treetops and I'm looking for this trade because it's a high probability 200 pips. And the other thing is that even though this does make 200 pips if you buy here, I don't want to chase it. And look at this wick here. This would have crushed you a little bit if you didn't. Say you did buy here, you're trying to make 200 pips. Well, when you get to here, hopefully you get out, because when it comes, if you trail your stops, this wick destroys, that wick on Friday just kind of destroys your position because you didn't start scaling out or just dumping the whole thing above here. So now the trade for me is to put buy limits in here. And maybe a couple sell limits up there. I don't like this trade because it looks like when the jobs report comes out, if I can buy a 100 pip window and make 100 pips back to here, or because if this really does crank out, it might be a go up, come down 20 pips, go up, come down 20 pips. And sure, because if it starts carving out this void, then it's going to be spike up into this price. And I know I can make the 40 and the 60 and the 20 pips because it's a rhythm method. Yeah, you realize there's a trend, but I don't want to, if I'm going to counter trade the trend, otherwise I have to wait for a doji and jump on that, but then I have to be awake for that. So if I step back and I can just get on the outskirts of town with my limit orders, I just prefer that style. So I come down here to my 8 hour. I'll do these multi drops. Here's an 8 hour. So I got some. I just found these, by the way, because I crashed the other computer. So I found these. And they're very unique ratios here. I've got the dollar amount roughly spelled out here. I try to include, I think, spread on this. If you see a break even in pips, actually I don't see it. Here's a pretty good swing trade here. Risk 37 pips to make 93 pips. So it's $24 to make 54 bucks on a 6K. That lasts for 8 hours in a 15 pip window. So if I drop it here, like I was saying, I like this. I don't think I'm going to make 93 pips. So the first one I have to do is the loss leader. I have to put in bad ratios first. So I'm going to pick 6K in a 10 pip window, trying to make 13 pips with a 27 pip stop. Now in the yen, that might even be doable. So let's just sell the pound. If it breaks above this blue line, I can see a scalp off of here. Start selling there, and it's spread out. Gosh, I sure hope those are spaced like, that doesn't seem right. Oh, no, let's see, that is, no, that's right. Yeah, so these are evenly spaced. The one that's logarithmic, there's a bad ratio, 27 to make 23 pips. So let's put that on the buy side. So if the market takes out this next spot, now this has a compressed entry. So I made these because it's kind of like spaced to lean towards a martingale system where when you drop this ticket and interweave it, you start to get a dense hard stop that I would say I can drop these as my first scalp because I know I can make 23 pips. 8 hours from now, it's got to come down. Here's a linear one, so this is going to be a stack, a real scalp. It's going to buy where the other one getting stopped out. Now that seems kind of weird, but because when I dropped this first one, I was looking at the entry and I thought, yeah, this is really what you want to get in, is this this shelf here. You see the this 4-hour chart, but this is a big deal. This price window. This really is the optimal place, but if we don't come down there, I'll take anything that dips below this blue line because it's just a great trade. I can go to sleep knowing that if the pound, when 3 o'clock in the morning comes, it looks like we'll probably be popping up here. So I got to place more tickets up here, but it could also come slamming down here, just in case it does. It's not too hard to grab out of these tickets and drop them. I think I got some. Here's a good ratio. 18 bucks to make 24 bucks. And I've got until the top of this box to put all my tickets in. Right, that's my entry window. Here's a true bar chart. Let me delete this. Scatterbrain shit here. Okay, so now we've got these tickets in this box. And I can go and put about 2 standard lots in here real easy. And that wouldn't be too hard to do. And just staying in here with these modest targets. We don't want to the last thing I'm going to do on this is going to put in some greedy targets. So ideally it comes up top of this box, we scalp it. It never goes higher out of that box until it comes back into these targets here. So there'll be some ping pong drama here. And we'll pepper in some good ratios. So here's a linear, and right at the edge, so we figure, well, the best trade is going to be once they start stopping these tickets out. If we come up here and grab this, so there's multiple scenarios that I'm dropping. Here's a scalp wrapped around a really good target. That looks like a higher probability by the end of the week. This thing's going to be poking through the top, but, you know, I'll take the 20 pip pullback or the 60 pip rally. So it's either going to spike up here another crazy amount of pips, and by the end of the week, we can... news comes out tomorrow, the dollar crashes, the pound goes through the ceiling here, and these are all just multiple scenarios stacked. And we can put a box within the box here. So let's say the very top of that has scalps in there. It's very complicated because you could get a $500,000 placed up here and $500,000 placed down there. Sit back and wait. The worst you can do is if they don't fill, you're just going to get tendonitis dropping all these tickets. But I'm dropping them in racks of 6, so 10 drops is 60K, and if 50 of those tickets survive the swing, then you're in a 50K, making anywhere from 20 pips to whatever you pick for your targets to 83 pips. I think I got a 93 pip in here. This is crazy stuff, but listen, I wouldn't want to try to manually place this shit. This is a 6K, so I can kind of get a little carried away here. I can always drop if we run out of... So get right up against the market now, and with good ratios, and this is a 6K. If I drop it just above current price, it'll be a sell limit. So you got to be careful. It's not like those first tickets I showed you where it's set at a buy and it just buys on a stop or a limit. This is actually going to put a sell rack in. And I know it's probably not a lot of money, but I'll have to delete that. If I make that mistake, I'll get very pissed off and have to delete it. Come over here and start closing tickets. I grab this closed ticket. I got a closed ticket thing here. Well, you drop it near the ticket you want to delete. I'm not sure where it is in this rack. It's supposed to be there. And somebody went and took it away. It's called close order. I don't know where the fuck it is now, but anyways. So if I have to go hunt that down because otherwise it'll just make me crazy. Here, it's closed fucking ticket. I only got one of these. Jesus, what a retard. So if I were to accidentally drop it up here, I'd have to come up here and start plucking them off. The other thing is that, well, it's not easy for me because I'm stubborn. So I'll typically go, oh fuck it, I'm not moving that ticket. But what we really should do is, if you're willing to admit that maybe you're just getting a little bit too aggressive, is to delete the ticket as the market comes screaming into your limits. You grab this closed ticket and you start deleting it. Like, so I've had to do this where I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. This is gonna come back to here. It's gonna go, like I can see, oh, it's just gonna take off, you know. I got too much exposure up here, but this looks like a pretty fair situation. As you approach the top of the top tick Tommy window, you do want to have tickets on the way to the window because it might actually be resistance. And this is the other, that's why you need more than one ticket, because you'd say, well, this looks like this is support here, and I was willing to buy if it went and bottom tick bobbied, and I was like, oh fuck, I want to buy this fucking crusher, and it never happened. And you're stuck with, I would say in this case, I could justify buying this goddamn candle because it's so insanely down, and that's like a no-brainer, I guess. That's what the robot could do that trade for you, you know. And how often does it drop almost 100 pips in 4 hours? 8 hours, 100 pips, you know, 120 maybe, count from the top of this week. We'll just count from close to close. That's a hell of a lot of fucking pips. The pound can get pretty frisky. So here looks like the obvious sell limits here into the night. I put the 4 hours and the 2 hours here. Put the 8-hour tickets up here, 12-hour tickets up here. So on the trajectory of rate of change, you figure, well, by the time you get up here, you're hitting your 12-hour tickets. You don't want to replace these. Anything below, above this line, you know, daily expirations, this will be a good place to sell all week long. This would always be a good place to buy. I just don't think we're coming back here soon. So I would move my tickets up to here where the stop hunt begins, is where my buy limits want to get in. But inside here, I have to have a 20 pip winner. I can't have everything all risk 20 to make 80. It seems like a good idea, but you just never pay the rent unless you can take this easy 20s. The market's doing a 20 pip bounce. You're buying into this. So you got your limits down here, and you're scalping something. You're not always going to get this wonderful crush. This is a 20 pip crush. This trade could be over for you by in the next. So this is like maybe a 6-hour trade. Well, opens here. It's definitely 8 hours from filling all these limits to spiking up into this middle of the week high, and that is some really serious range trading. Nowhere directionless. I can't say that's a trend because that's just a spaz attack in price. You know, blows down here, blows out this high, and comes all the way back to here, amazingly, in the middle of that whole thing. So you're having your sell limits up here, no fill, right? You'd start getting filled tonight, I think. So I do think we're going to punch through north on the pound. I'm going to sell into that. I'm going to drop my short-term tickets in front. So I'll put a 4 hours in there. Okay, so if I nod off in 4 hours and I wake up and I see on my cell phone that I'm getting filled, I'll be like, yeah, okay. Now, those might be the loss leaders. I may lose. Here's a 12-hour rack. I put this way the fuck up here. Now, that's going to be an ungodly 73 pip winner. I spent some time on this. I haven't seen these, and I don't even know when I made these up. But here's the break even, true break even. Yeah, so this is not, there's no spread included. This is 40 pips make 40 pips. This is a 3K. And this is a whole different kind of, now this really is a swing trade. This is a sensical trade for this situation. So this is a 3K, and it's pretty hard to get hurt here. The 40 pips stop to make 40 pips, $12 to make $12 risk to make $12. It looks like this. Now, that's a whole different look than 6K in a 10 pip window, which looks like this. But if you combine these two in the key zones, you know, where the order blocks are, you know, that order block shit. So you put them in like this, and I don't know, let us say order block. Yeah, this ICT sends me a bill whenever I say order block. He sends me a cease and desist, and he bills me out. So here's the, if you're looking back into this one, that's why I say the box, if you draw the box on top of the indicator, it's kind of a nice, it seems stupid because, well, you can see the but you can extend this into the future. It just shows you that shelf. And this one you could, so this one's a very narrow window, but you can price it out. This is about 10 pip window. And don't drop too many tickets in here if there's not enough money in the account, because, you know, what if it does come down here and just keep blowing down? So we've seen that before, but this, you can see this would make money because you can afford to buy this 20 pip window, which is pretty good, you know. And if you ran end to end on these, you could take a lot of punishment. I'm just saying. And you would get stopped out. Like here, you'd be constantly taking on 3Ks and you're down $12, but the market has to drop almost 200 pips in 12 hours. So you really are, like I say, this makes sense because it depends on you dropping it way the fuck out there. Now, if I wanted super aggressive with this, I'd drop it right there. Now it's selling a 3K with a stop up here and a target that is equal. And not the greatest trade. So is this going to make money? If that happens. So I have multiple scenarios I'm playing. The the highest probability trade is going to be, let me pick a 27 pip stop, $18 to make $6, and start placing them here. And I can run those end to end, or I can put a high density in key areas. So here, this is a key area. And if you, as long as you keep track of what you're dropping here, but that's what it is. It's about setting a trap. The market comes in, it rips out, and cha-ching. You know, it's the ultimate trade is to me the hammer, inverted or bullish hammer, whatever the fuck, or a pin bar, as people would say, because, man, that is a lot of fast money. And the pressure's building up there. But to handle the pound, the pounds can be volatile, like the yen. The euro do this, but not, you know. But lately, the Swiss franc's on fire, so I wouldn't take any kind of give the market plenty of room. Count on the market moving very hard against you, maybe 300 or 500 pips, even though that's not the daily range. It's possible that any day it's going to move like that, especially if there's high impact news, as they call it. Gosh, I just saw this one. Here's 4 hours. Now this is interesting. 4 hours in a so this is what I place closer to the market. I was looking for that. I kind of went nuts here. I don't know if I just wanted to make sure I didn't leave anything out, but the 4 hour, and I made a lot of these, since I spent so much time writing the core thing of this, all I had to do is change the time and the stop. And this is a nice all around 30 pips to make 30 pips. People love that break even shit. So here you could place this, I would say, right beneath. I feel like this is the thing because I want to buy a 20 to 40 pip pullback here before we rip north and take out this blue line. So I'm counting on that scenario, and the ratio can start to get a little greedier here. Here's 27 pips to make 43, and I'm just trying to get it so that if we get anything like this kind of so-called price action, if I was setting up for, it's going to look like this, where we're going up, and I keep placing the buy limits down in here. And we do get ripped back, but maybe not this deep, but I got buy limits down here, dude, just in case. This is a fucking great ratio, right? This is like 20 pips to make 100 pips. Hello. Does it happen all the time? No. You could anticipate on this one. Here's break-even nonsense range trading that goes on for the last 2 days of the week. Just nonsense. True, utter bullshit. There's nothing, I don't know how people are trading that shit. Maybe on the 5-minute chart, right? Look, Johnny, it's got a crossover in the 3-minute chart. I know, I see the same pattern. You'd be in chat rooms with the people. Yeah, I mean, but is somebody in it? Or are you ready to pull you pull a trigger? So pull the trigger. That was kind of a misleading for all the education I took, with these so-called experts. And man, nobody talked about limit order entry. They're just like, yeah, are you afraid to pull the trigger? I'm like, fuck no, give me a goddamn thing. I don't care if I don't care if I blow your head off. I'm not afraid to pull the trigger. So we're not gonna be friends anymore. But I'm not afraid. And placing limit orders, that sounds a little too passive for me. I didn't even know you could, but I get it now. So I can be a stop hunter. I can just place all my orders there. Would you say you put your stop at? Okay, I'm going to buy that one too. Okay, that's support. Yeah, to me, it's support all the way down. Like if it's dropping, I'm buying. So I had to hold back from buying. From trading actually, because I'm a little trigger happy. And to be a limit entry guy, and I put stop entry on the same category, because if you trade stop entry, you really are, you should be a breakout trader, because it makes sense that the tipping point, the trigger point, self-triggering point, you put a buy stop here and a sell stop down here, and you get filled on, maybe get trapped here a little bit, but you got the buy stop, and this has got some great ratios, right? And that's a great trade. You're waiting for a very small bar and a small body. Like here's a perfect breakout trade. Small bar, small body. No fill really on the downside, but you know what? The market went up, and it's an instant. I call this a hedge because you could have filled either leg of this, and you're ready to go short if it goes down, and you get filled on the long side. And like I said, people make a living trading this dumb shit trade. Well, it takes patience. I have no patience. So I could never do that trade. Like I said, there's people, I don't know these people. Who are these people? They could do that trade. I always felt like, when I got stopped out, I felt like, Jesus, man. How about if maybe I just think I know too much, so I'm like, oh, this looks like a good buy here. It's going down. At least it's going on sale. Maybe it's not as low as it's gonna go, but I can confidently pull the fucking trigger because it's down. Last 4 hours it's down. Okay, you know what? I can pull the trigger and go to sleep, and I'm in 0.05% of my position. But psychologically, I feel comfortable in terms of getting something started, right? So we didn't get married, but we had coffee together. So I feel like I can pay attention to you. I can pay attention. Yeah, I'll even take your phone number. I mean, I am a cup of coffee down into the relationship has cost me so far a cup of coffee. So I feel like this is the starting point. I got like a 5K in there. Let's see where the relationship goes. I don't know. You seem like a nice enough person. Although, yeah, you kind of like you just got the tether off your ankle bracelet. Okay, no, that's fine. No, oh no, I can. Sure, come along. Here, we'll be fine. We're waiting for us. Actually, this is why I think women could trade breakouts, because they'd be like, if you told them, I mean, no offense, but they're good at following instructions. Well, not all of them, not the drunks, but like a sober chick. If you told her, okay, listen, especially I think she'd probably take it seriously. Oh, okay. You want me to do what? Oh, well, you see this small bar, honey? If you could just wake up every 4 hours and take a look. You see this little baby bar? Oh, yeah. This little baby thing here, a little small candle. Not a lot of wax on this candle one. You have to explain it in chick terms. There's not a lot of wax on that candle. It's mostly wick, but small wicks. Yeah, I'm listening. Could you please just, honey, just do me a favor? I wrote some scripts. Could you just place a buy stop here and a sell stop here? Because I don't want to be involved in this. I know it makes money, but this is just something that a robot could do, and you're smarter than a robot. So, because I know she'd be like, oh, honey, I did what you said. I saw a small body, and I kind of triggered me. You said anything in a 20 pip wick to wick, place a sell stop, place a buy stop, and you even told me to cancel and replace. So I'm using 4-hour scripts. They automatically cancel replace. I put a buy stop here, put a sell stop here. You said that every time I see a 4-hour bar, and then put a sell stop. Now, if I told her, I need you to put in 12-hour expirations, these tickets would still be pending, and I'd be short of $3K without me having to do this trade. Because honestly, I would feel like I missed the entry by not putting sell limits here and just getting on limits. And the higher it goes, the more the limits. And maybe I sold this candle. Because honestly, selling here, I'm like, oh, geez, it's probably going to go up like this. Now, it's why only certain people can trade certain patterns, because it fits their personality. So if you're an angry contrarian like me, you're kind of fucked. You got to take this buy, okay? Yeah, I'm buying here, and I'm buying down. Every time it's going down, I'm buying. Sure, I could put a buy stop here. I want my wife to do that, right? She'll do that dumb trade. Buy stop. Well, you still want to guess? I know, whatever. I got in here. I'm going back to sleep. Here, you can babysit this shit. And then I put a buy stop here and a sell stop here. They stopped me out, but you know what? The other one, boom, I made 60 pips, 40 pips. So that you are getting the worst entry. This is 40 pips. Whereas if you buy at the market, like, so if you make a decision, you got here. Or you could put on a really tight hedge here. It's kind of a bottomless pit, because you could think of a million variations of, okay, you're going to get a super tight stop here on the body, and maybe you lose a little bit here because it's a very tight stop, but on the long side, so you got stopped out of some of the longs, but that's why you have to commingle the 20 pip, 30 pip, 10 pip stops. Because if you lose part of this position, you want to retain something. And you could have made 60 pips to here if, and maybe you scalped out the 15 pip targets and 28 pip targets. That's why I put all these odd numbers in here, so I can diversify and really high res. In a perfect world, I don't want to get out, when a 5 decimal broker, I want to get out 2 cents apart on each ticket. So 4 pipettes, just like, it's just gratifying. You look at the market, the news, especially when the news comes out, that's probably the best feeling in the world. When you place a trap, the news comes out, it triggers all those tickets like fucking dominoes. You sit back and just go, okay, not bad. And then it drifts up, cash out. Sure, you can stick around till the end of the day, another 4 hours to make another 10 pips, but I'm not up for that. I mean, some people are, they'll be in the trade for fucking 2 weeks. I know people have been trade for, like, this guy who's telling you he's a millionaire. He's in trade for fucking 6 months on the guppy. I said, I couldn't like I didn't even know what the pound versus yen was, and I looked at it, and it looked like it moved about 2,000 pips in 6 months, and he was in this giant position. So I couldn't imagine holding on that long, and how far the market moved. At that time, I think the Swiss franc was like watching paint dry. It didn't really do anything. So the markets have changed, certainly, and you got to figure, do the math always. I'm sure you'll be doing the math as you watch your account fluctuate the balance. That's usually a real direct connection to your reptilian brain when you see the balance changing. Here, let me clean up these charts, and we'll see how we make out on this one. I think we're 7,600 on this account, 7,611. So we made about a few bucks last night, no big thing, but trying to get up to 10 grand. And the news will come out tomorrow when the jobs report comes out. The other thing is that if you do trigger this rack of tickets in a spectacular method, if you really want to squeeze every last penny out of the price action, then you're going to have to come back in and refresh it. But if it, after a big explosion, what is the effort to reward ratio? It's not risk, really. If you've made quite a bit of money and then you just come in with small tickets. Here's another one on my tablet. I'm going to run this very aggressive half-hour double click. So you're going to have to experiment on a demo account with these tickets because I can't go through all these scripts, but BM would be buy at the market. So this is just going to buy with a stop. Now, I don't like to do that trade. Even with fake money, it feels really stupid. But here's a 50 pip stop to make 100 pips. Here is a, I prefer this shit because to see the market come back and we get a price based on this minor pullback, I think it's great. Look at this thing marching up on the half-hour chart, the pound. This is due for a pullback. Abso-fucking-lutely. Look at this thing just itching to come back. So now I would say I am getting in too aggressive here, but I'm going to do it because it's a demo account. Here, this is not so bad. 4 hours. This is a different 4-hour drop, 15-minute drop. Big difference here. I'm asking the market to drop into this buy limit. In 4 hours, that could happen. 15 minutes, I don't think it's making this ticket. This is only a 3K. It's a very, very conservative trade. Very hard to blow up the account here. You just lose your mind. You don't lose too much money here. But that's the scenario. We come back into this box. We come into here and we're going to fill that into the night. Probably won't happen. So let's get in super tight. This is my tightest ticket. 4 pips away. It's half hour. That would probably fill tonight. And if this is a 1 hour expiration, so you could always rewrite that script and just change the time frame. You can open this stuff up. There's nothing, this isn't like, just look in there. You can take away these forward slashes and turn on this buy stop if you wanted. This is just set the limits. Here's a market order. Here's a buy limit. So you could have this script be where you just double click this and it's going to buy one at the market, one on a stop, one on a limit. It's a bottomless pit. This one happens to have a hard stop on it of 28 pips. That's that middle number. So this is buying on a limit 4 pips below, 8 pips below current, 12 pips below current with a 28 pip stop. Trying to make ourselves 18 pips, 12 pips, 6 pips. Well, actually, this one's going to cash out. This is a scalp, so if it drops here, it's only going to make 6 pips. But that's convenient. You just double click that. You don't have to, and you can make bizarre stops and bizarre targets and bizarre entries on a double click, whereas the ones that I was dropping that said 6K in a 10 pip window, those happen to be, well, it depends where you drop them. Where this is hardwired, this will always drop 8 pips deep, 12 pips deep. So which one's the best? On the tablet, definitely the double clicks, because I can't really drag and drop shit on the tablet. On the desktop, it can be more calculated and drop these grids more precisely. So the quick and dirty, I have the market orders. I trade out the market on the tablet, and I trade the double click limits. It buys and sells in the sell limit. I have a couple sell limits in here. So SL, and this SLD is single limit drops. It's not sell here. This is a single limit drop. So this is just way out here. This is like the most unrisky trading. Here's a 28 pip stop to make 46 pips. That's a 1K. So you're risking $2.80. With no spread, that would be $2.80 to make $4.60. Now, certainly, once you start to stack them up here in the same spot, and you can drag them over to this indicator here and drop them. So you don't have to draw the rectangle. You can just stack them up here where you're like, yeah, there's a bunch of liquidity here. Liquidity indicator. But I wouldn't go for, I always go for some shitty targets here. So just trying to scalp here. Here's like, trying to make 10 pips with a 12 pip stop. But I could probably get, so this to me is the way to trade, because it just makes total sense. Now here, I already got a ticket here, so let's put one here. And if I put it above, it's going to be a sell limit. Below, it'll be a buy limit. But it's really hard to blow up the account. This is the same thing here. They're just called limit drops. I don't know why I put single limit drops. I think this is a culmination of a lot of scripts just poured into here, and then I tried to, so LD would mean limit drop. When it says trades, this is like trade management. You can take all profits, or you can take, I think I have profit per symbol maybe. Oh geez. GD means grid drop. Here's double clicks. So there's not a lot of double clicks here. Under this tablet category is going to be where there is some sell limits. Double click sell limits in here. How you create these categories is the key. What you want to see when you open the platform, and I just blew right through that category there. I was trying to get to my tablet. It should say cells. I don't see it on this one. Oh, here it is, the bottom, of course. So this actually is a sell stop. Believe it or not, this is a sell stop. Last 30 minutes. I think I was trying to trade on. I don't have a lot of them, so I was trying to do it. But here's the double click. So on the tablet, if I'm looking at this market, these are all single limits, but they're sell limits. So here it's not single limit, it's sell limit. So it's very confusing, I'm sure. But that's what happens when you're trying to name stuff, and the reason why it's such an abbreviated name is because they're trying to get this to fit on the tablet so that when I'm running the charts, I can save a lot of chart space, because now it'll be like this, right? So the name was designed to be as streamlined as possible. So it looks like this. If I'm going to double click this, this is 2 hours, 10 pips above with a 10 pip stop. 20 pip stop to make 10 up here, like so. It's like this. I can kind of just go nuts here a little bit, since they're just There's just one ticket in there. Whereas these, on the other hand, are 3Ks if I'm going to buy any kind of plunge from here. So it's like that. Anyways, I'm going to put the link to this platform in the description, as they say. Yeah, so don't even attempt to trade this with real money unless you know what these things are going to do. Here's a buy stop, 2 hour buy stop. There, so that's a buy. That's a buy stop. And that kind of makes sense, because it'll probably get filled in 2 hours. And this is my wife does this trade, right? She's like, actually, that's what I'd give her. I would give her double clicks that say sell stop and buy stop, and then she could just click this like a goober, and then she's like, yeah, it got really quiet last night, so I kicked that buy stop, sell stop, and oh look, honey, we made it. Yeah, shut up, I don't hear my. Oh, you made 30 pips in the dumb shit trade I showed you. Oh, thanks. Yeah, it's sophisticated. I like to get in the. I prefer not to insult my intelligence, so I try to do the liquidity and the trade block combination entry. So look at this thing marching up in an awful trend, mocking my anger, but it doesn't look so good on the 1 hour. The 1 hour looks like it's had its top tick Tommyville up here. And that's the deception of time frame. You put on the half hour, you're like, look at that beautiful trend. Oh, should I buy this pullback? No. Absolutely not. And then just to get total perspective, never be afraid to look at the weekly. It looks like we're just going to keep going north here in the weekly. And the daily, it looks like we're going to take out the high of the month. So this is the month beginning back there. So that's very bullish. The Swiss franc would be the opposite story. It's going to tank. And this, we should put some tickets on this one. I'm just going to double click it. The probability, let's just throw this shit in here. Let's just do this. Because that's a 7K in a 20 pip window, and it's logarithmic, so it's another one of these martingale. All right, there's quite a bit of shit in here. This is 40 pips make 40 pips. Swiss franc, it can do it, man. The Swiss franc is a mad. I have not looked at this Swiss franc since I don't know, people. This probably brought back memories here. Look at this 1 hour Swiss franc dropping 200 pips there in 2 days. I bet people are thinking, yeah, I remember. Reminds me of when they depegged it and it blew up my account. Jeez, thanks for the memories. How many brokers went bankrupt when the Swiss franc just decoupled? But this is a pretty fair amount of pips. This thing's a little out of control, honestly. So we should do something about this currency. But so we took out the low of yesterday. I'd be buying this thing all night long, I could tell you that. This would be my entry box. So what the fuck? Let's just throw some 30 pip winners in here. Really close. And we'll just conservatively put it outside the box into the new box. Here's a real swing trader. 36 pip window, 10K. Linear grid there. That's some serious shit here. This is a 5K in a 40 pip window. So you can take some punishment here. This is my ultimate. Oh, I do remember these scripts now. Yes, this is a 50 pip window, 10K. I'm sorry. That's wrong. Wait. I think I fucked that up. That's not right. That's supposed to be a 50 pip. Here's a 40. This is the proper one. It's 45 pip window. Yeah, we gotta delete that. That's wrong. Something went wrong there. That's why you gotta test them. All right, this is daily drop. That is a 40 pip window, 5K. That one's kind of logarithmic. This is compressed in there a little bit. It looks like we got a bite here. I get filled on my pound. Kind of knew we would. We're right up against the market there. Kind of asking for it. So we're in, we're long. Look at that 5-minute chart. I think it was a filled on a limit there. Let's turn the comments on. I don't know if there's a comment for that. Okay, this is a market order. So I did buy at the market. I guess I was fucking around there. A sell stop got filled. Oh no, sell stop. Yeah, sell stop got filled in a 50-minute. Only one limit order got filled there. That's a super close one. So I'm up 7 cents. I'm doing pretty good, actually. Let's sell stop on the pound. So I'm in a hedge. Saving on margin. Alrighty then. So that's the name.